Hi everyone, it's Adrian Leah. This is going to be another bedtime reading. I wanted to film something before bed. As I said, I have to take a test for my visa today. I am at my godmother's house right now. It's the closest to this test center. There's a couple locations in the US, but the closest was the one in the same state as my godmother, which is 2 hours away from her, and then driving back to where I currently live or stay since I don't have my apartment anymore. It's going to be about 6 to 7 hours to drive back, so I might stop by my godmother's for a little bit before going back to where I currently stay at. I had to wake up really early, so I'll be sleeping after this. But for this reading, it seems like it feels like there's some type of accountability that comes into play. The ones that popped out when I first pulled out the cards are the Hermit card and the Wheel card, the Wheel of Fortune, and they were stuck together when I was shuffling the cards, and it looks like it works backwards to 8 as well, because you have the Strength card there. So on the Hermit card it says spend time in quiet meditation, spiritual teaching, self-discovery. And the Wheel, a time for positive change. A situation suddenly moves forward. Fortune is on your side. When I say accountability, it could be a couple of different ways that you could approach it. It could be a way where you validate yourself if it involves another person, validate another person's actions or feelings. I say that it could involve somebody else in case there was like a confrontation or some type of, for some reason I was getting discipline. There could have been an approach that maybe one person was taking and then another person didn't see the value and why they were taking it in that way. And that sounds harsh, but that was the words that were just coming out and that I was thinking about initially. This could be accountability for one person's actions, for, again, with the validating, I did this because I felt that that was the right thing to do at the time. It was the action that I took because that's it was based off of things I knew or things that I didn't know at the time. I feel like this could have to do with an apology or getting help as well, because you have the Queen of Swords that comes into this reading twice. So this is the Queen of Swords from the Universal Folk Tarot, and then the Angel Tarot. You have the Queen of Swords here, And it says independent, experienced, realistic, witty, objective decision making, clearing away all that no longer serves you, seeing the humor in in a situation. With this, I feel that the Queen of Swords takes a specific approach to this. I feel that she or he may apologize, because it just feels like it really goes to the bare bones of the situation, that we've done this way for so long, or we kept trying to take this approach and it just doesn't get us anywhere. Realistically, it's just not realistic to keep going the same route and expecting things to be different. And I feel that the Strength card comes into play because now we're actually trying to do things differently. And it kind of feels like a continuation of the readings or the last reading where I was talking about with the two kings, and then the obstacle was the King of Swords, and actually rebalancing your life, and to, again, with maturity, could be at any age, taking a mature approach where we know that something needs to change. It could also be leadership role with that too, because it's the king in the last reading, and this is the queen, so it doesn't need to be gender specific, but it may be the person that feels that the win needs to go to them, and this time they're just like, no, I'll give them the win because they actually should have it. There's this, I feel this like really general approach is like if you have a girlfriend or like a wife or something, a lot of times they usually get the win. And there's nothing wrong with that if that's the way that relationship functions in it. And for the most part, it seems to be a decent connection. There could also be ways where it may not be the most helpful, because again, if you keep going through that same thing, it may leave the other person feeling melancholy because they don't feel that there's any lack of accountability, or that their feelings or their actions are being heard or being seen, especially if maybe they do, again, a general thing, like maybe they're the ones that go to work, or they do something, and then the other person works in other ways, but there might be an imbalance of, well, I do these things, so that's what makes my side of the story or my situation more important. So it depends on how we're looking at it, but I feel that there is something to be turned. What is it, a leaf to be turned? Where you have the Knight of Water, the Knight of Cups, emotional, romantic, enthusiastic, contemplative. Falling in love or wedding proposals, a need to balance emotions, an invitation to a social event. I feel that maybe this apology or this new approach, or even asking for help, can go a long way. in these terms, and it, even if it's not vocally said, when you go out there and you make your actions known or maybe unknown, it kind of speaks a lot louder, as they say. I say help because there's the 10 of fire, too much work, accept help from others, life is out of balance, and stress-related health concerns. The world, Archangel Michael, a job well done, joy, contentment, and gratitude, a path towards enlightenment. So I do feel like there is like a new opportunity or a new doorway that opens up because we're able to open ourselves. This feels like a little more like being more vulnerable. And with the Queen of Swords, she doesn't take that lightly. She might seem cold in some cases, but I feel in a lot of situations too that, again, when she apologizes, she'll mean it. There's just something that is of the mind that they're just always thinking about things and thinking how things were like this because of this or that, or what it could have been based off of what we said or what we didn't say. And sometimes those apologies take a while because there's a lot more thinking but not a lot of doing. It kind of feels like a little bit of shell energy. And then you have the Eight of Air, the Eight of Swords, an illusion of being trapped, a lack of self-confidence, afraid to take action. I feel that with the Queen of Swords too, it's really seeing what actions can be taken and when would be the right time to do it. And with this, it kind of, there's a feeling that is with the phrase, there's nothing like the present. Because if not now, then how long are we going to be waiting until you feel that things can get better, that things can move along, that we're not going to be in quicksand just continuously trying to move and struggle when it only makes it worse. Then you have the Knight of Pentacles with the Page of Pentacles being in the obstacle position, which is interesting. Because that's also the Knight of Pentacles staying in the same place and doing the same things. There's a sense of faithfulness to that. One could argue that it might have to do with, you know, people saying that we're in the Matrix and then the world wants us to have systemic beliefs that really confine us, that put us at a certain mindset, that put us at a certain level, that group us, that make us have what we have and make us have what we don't have. Sorry, that, if that made sense. There's a lot of memory that goes with it, of not wanting to move with the Eight of Air, because the Eight of Air, it might be stuck because it makes itself stuck, or she or he makes themselves stuck because of maybe that one conversation, that one moment, that one relationship that really sealed the deal. But to overcome the obstacle, there's the Two of Swords. And the Two of Swords kind of gets yourself out of that systemic belief system. Sorry, I don't know why I'm talking. Systemic beliefs, and gets us out of that matrix type of phenomena that there may be. It doesn't need to be like a necessarily completely a worldly thing. It could be within our own relationships. And alongside that card is the Nine of Wands. And we move forward and we get ourselves out of the quicksand because it's just too uncomfortable. Now is the time where we can ask for help. And you'd be surprised of how many people can come to your aid, or that one person that maybe you didn't, it's not like you didn't think that they weren't like a person that would do that, but maybe they go above and beyond to help you. Like with my cats being at my godmother's. So my godmothers, they tend to visit their other family members, and so sometimes they're not here. And then my godmother, it's technically her sister-in-law, but we'll just call her, and we do like say aunt. So she's sick and she can't move in a lot of places. So there's like the other family members that I heard that stop by to help take care of the cats while they're here. And then, as I was saying before, like it wasn't in this video or even the last couple of videos ago, it was like a while ago, where I got out of a relationship, and then some mail was going to their place still, and then by the time I got my mail, it was late because not all states have the same taxes. So I had to pay like my car tax in this state that I currently live in, and I didn't have to do that for the last couple of states. So it took me by surprise. And then since it was late and there was like those what is it, what you owed, and then on top of that there was more. Because it was late, it would have been difficult to pay that. And then the owner of the pharmacy that I worked at, she ended up paying it off, and then she paid me still for working. And she was saying they tried to get her daughter the same way. So it's surprising when you accept help and you get yourself out of those situations that maybe you don't need to be in. Sometimes it's hard to get out of those situations, but based off of this reading, you may have some help that's on the way. In the past, it's the Ten of Wands, and that's a repeat card with the Ten of Fire. And holding it all on your own and not wanting to ask for anybody to help you. As I've been saying, maybe this is my sleepy reading. And then the featuring had the Eight of Pentacles. I'm trying not to press it because it does that close-up thing. For some, even though you ask for help, there's still a reliance on you. But the little bit of weight that is off your shoulders, it just gives you that extra boost to put it towards other things, including self-care. The extra cards that I got are the Seven of Swords, the Opportunist, and the Five of Wands. Staying in Sinachi. And for some reason, again, because there was a reading where I kept talking about being rooted or roots. Because with this Five of Wands, again, it was coming up like going back to your roots. Going back to something that you really want or deserve to. There does feel like what some people, or maybe the universe, or not in that way, but like the world saying that you're being selfish for taking care of yourself. But if you don't take care of yourself, then are you going to force somebody else to always take care of you? I'm not saying they won't always take care of you, but in those situations, sometimes, like, if you feel that you want to give yourself that love, then why not? And then you get like extra on top of that when you get love from maybe your partner or your spouse or who you're associated with. It may be difficult because it does feel like out of the norm for you, because maybe you might not like asking for help, you don't want to bother anybody, but it's come down to the Ten of Wands being more like, technically it goes into the court cards, but in like a way it kind of feels like if there was an 11 of Wands, that would be the 11 of Wands type of energy. And I just say that because it just feels like it's so much. And if somebody is happy enough to help you, then why won't you let them help you? So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. And sorry, as I was saying, for the Five of Wands, maybe for some reason you don't like giving yourself like that TLC, that tender loving care. But that could be something that you put into your routine to make sure that you're as healthy as you can be, and that includes mental and emotional health, so that you could do more things that you want to pursue and accomplish. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in another video.